Okay. I will turn up my volume and then you can cry when I scream. Uh
You always start very
yeah.
low.
Yeah.
just, just in case shit happens. You never know. Should I before we start, should I do like no,
No.
I shouldn't. I was thinking like, oh, should I do like an Instagram story that this is live now? Or
I mean, you can if you want to, but it seems like you don't want to. So,
I'm just thinking since we're already gonna post it on like my channel and stuff like that, we might as well do this. This is for the pirates right now, for everyone on the
yeah.
Discord
Yeah, yeah.
noticing and the subscribers on the Magpie Pirates. We're gonna edit this, do a tip top version that is optimized for kids under the age of 2, and put that on my channel later. Is the plan.
Babies? For the babies.
It's a subtitle going da da goo goo goo.
All right.
That's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're making a toy album, so it fits, you know. You're
Yeah.
really tapping into that demographic.
Should I stop while I'm ahead? That's when they started copyright, or not copyright striking, but demonetizing me. As soon as I started doing toy videos, they were like, "Oh, up, 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 up,
Yeah,
up, up, up.
we can't let that seep
Don't
into.
go
Yeah,
here, man. Stay in
yeah,
your line."
yeah. All right. So now that we're talking about the community, uh, do you think that the liveliness of the community now has to do with how you often asked for help and put out ways for the community to be part of your content in the beginning, like the secret sample pack and like when you asked for people to do fan edits?
Oh, you mean in the? So we're gonna go walk back here to
Yeah,
begin
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So like when did the community start? It started from me doing the live streams, right? There was
Mm,
when it started. I didn't know about Discord at
right.
that point in time. Um, so it actually came from Garden Sound. I think shout out to him, another YouTuber. He had a Discord. I joined his Discord. I really liked the platform, and I was like, well, let's create this platform for everyone who's tuning into my music live streams because I don't know if you were there from the very get go, maybe, but it was like
Mm,
Juicy and Eppu and Tataki and people that were Patreons at that time as well.
yeah.
They were always like John were there. He was very active at that time. They became like a crew in the chat of my live stream. So in between those breaks, they had no contact or way of contacting each other.
Yeah.
So now I created that with the Discord. So in the beginning, it
Hmm.
was just us over there. I also made it so when you join the Discord, you get assigned the role everyone, like the everyone role, the generic Discord, hey, you are welcome to be here role. I made
Mm.
that role admin. So that was kind of funny. And just started inviting everyone from like other YouTubers that I knew, like Ugly Casanova and stuff like that, to just be
Mm.
on the Discord. And people started joining. I don't really know where I posted about it, if I was really early with putting it in my video description as well that hey, I got a Discord, or if I just shouted it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Never really expected it to grow to this level. Like in the beginning, we had threads that were dedicated to like sick stuff, like sick pictures you find and shit like that. And then at that time, it was Atomic Legend. Was that his name? I don't know if you remember Atomic. He had a peacock. It's pretty
Yeah, I remember the name. I don't think I ever spoke to him.
funny guy with a
Oh,
peacock. But
yeah.
yeah, he made me aware of, okay, we find a couple of minors on this Discord. This is probably not a good idea that everyone is admin at this
Yeah,
point. We were maybe like 50 to 100 people or something like that at that point.
yeah.
And then just people started dropping in. Like the Discord is like my, different people have different projects that are their big projects. Like Look Mom No Computer has this huge machine thing. It's like my focus is the Discord.
Mm.
Obviously, I'm not reaching out to brands. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just doing the whole Discord, like the creativity within the community and trying to like butter that up in as many
Mm.
ways as possible. Aside from doing all of my shit, you
Yeah.
know, all of my music and that stuff, and also yeah, like you were saying, I don't really remember the question, but I started pretty early with having the finish a song idea that was
Mm.
like, okay, I do something, I drop it as a sample pack on my website, because I had my website from way back, a new domain, same platform where I could put up shit, so everyone can do like a song with that,
Mm.
and I will make a video on that. So more stuff like that than doing like an album. I don't know which album collab was the first actually
The
either.
secret sample one, the OP one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, maybe that was the first one actually.
Yeah.
Just I sampled the OP1, all the
Yeah.
tactile, funny word, sounds. That's true. But before that, I had like the stupid bending battle goes back
Mm.
now. That was maybe before. Like the Discord has been around for 1.5 year, maybe only, maybe two, and now we're like
Yeah.
2,000 members as well.
Yeah.
But this was more. What was your actual question?
Well, I feel like does all of that have to do with how the community grew as an identity? You know, people don't just say
I
like,
think
"Oh, I'm a
so.
fan of
No,
Magpie. This is the
there are
Discord."
some of those though, which is I
Yeah.
try to break down that wall as quick as fucking possible, especially in
Yeah.
like speak out scenarios where I join speak out and I do like, oh everyone come talk to me, and then maybe a person joins and starts fanning out over me.
Mm.
Try to really be a person, not a
Yeah.
fucking entity or some shit like that. Like I don't
Yeah.
want, not Jesus, not Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
dude. Like we're all equal in the sense that we sort of at least want to be doing shit. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll just sum
Creating.
it up as big as, yeah, but some of us maybe doesn't, like we have people that are doing way other shit that still joins the Discord and just likes the community and reach out about that. Like, hey, I don't do music or anything circuit bending or whatever, but I kind of found one of your videos. I thought it was fun. I joined the Magpie Pirates and it's fucking incredible. Like, since we get to know each other. And also it's really fun with all of the people that are starting to meet up like in real life and hang
Mm.
out and do stuff like that.
Yeah. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And like how many albums now? Like there's a lot of albums have
I
been
know.
made,
Yeah.
like so many. And for me, it's become very easy for me, in a sense. The Discord has become like a shortcut in a sense that I can just, if I come up with an idea, like the microwave idea or the Jackson Pollock idea, I know exactly where to throw it right away to get a response to it. Like if I get an idea and I upload it as, oh, but maybe we should do this. This can be fun. Let's all
Yeah.
do it at everyone. Some people are gonna do it within the hour and post it, and it's gonna start rolling,
And
snowballing.
then and then some people like me who I waited until I'm finally buying I needed to buy shit for my idea for this collab. I think we've talked about it. I don't want to spoil it for the people watching. Uh but I don't know. I'll just make mine separate from it, but it was still something that I wanted to do, so I'm not just
Film
doing it
it
for the.
though.
Yeah,
If you
no,
film
I
it, we can post it on the Magpie Pirates
yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
channel instead. That could
Yeah,
be
no,
really
I'm
fun.
that I already have it all planned out.
Oh, figure it out.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
filmed
yeah.
microwave as well yesterday. Not yesterday, but a couple of days ago. Just put the modular in front of the microwave when Carl Michael was here. Another YouTuber, shout out Cab Curio, and we mic'd it up.
Mm.
So when the idea was when the popcorn starts popping, that would trigger the Eurorack system.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Turns out that didn't work because the signal, like the electromagnetic field surrounding the microwave, just made everything trigger as soon as you turned it on.
Oh my
She's like,
god. What is with modular and like people like I've know like off the top of my head two different pieces that are like modular popcorn. It's like that's the
yeah,
idea of the piece. What's
is that,
with
yeah, that's like a thing that people
yeah,
do because it's so
right.
easy to just have a filter popping off with like a clock and a random
Yeah, yeah.
voltage. Bleep, bleep, bleep. So that was kind of perfect to
Yeah.
do popcorn, physical popcorn with
In the
modular
micro,
popcorn.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you just microwave the whole Eurorack system.
Yeah.
Shove it in there.
Yeah.
See what
All right.
happens.
So did you find yourself watching YouTube more or less after you had gotten to the point with your channel where it was like interaction with the community and stuff like that?
You mean like watching what?
I
Like lurking on YouTube or watching
Yeah,
similar other channels or
both.
since all
Any
of you do
yeah.
shit, I'm sort of I have to pay more attention to the Magpie Pirates than I do to
Right.
like anything else on YouTube these
Yeah.
days. Fucking annoying.
I just want to watch Heinbach.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want. But I mean, I haven't had TV in like my entire grown up life. Like
Mm,
I've lived with friends who have had TV and shit like that. I've never paid TV tax, which is it's a thing we have in Sweden
mm,
because I've never had a TV. So I've
right.
always been watching internet instead, which has been primarily YouTube because I'm too
Mm.
fucking cheap for Netflix and stuff like that, which didn't exist until like a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
in Sweden. Um, but definitely like I really try to be, you can categorize a person as a doer or a thinker, and I try to be a doer more than a thinker,
Mm-hmm.
very much. So I try not to lurk too much, but there's a lot of hours in a day. So there's a lot of hours in my bed, naked, just scrolling YouTube,
Uh-huh.
you know? Not too much envy involved. Like as soon as you're a YouTuber and you have numbers, like that was even in the beginning, like when I had 200 subscribers, you're always comparing your own numbers with other YouTubers
Like
and
just in the
feeling,
back of your head or kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
consciously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it happens consciously. I don't think it's
Mm.
unconscious. That would
Yeah.
be a lame thing to hide behind.
Right.
Now I started recording audio, just so you know.
Now? Oh God.
Thankfully, I did start recording audio though. That would
Yeah.
hey, welcome. I am Magpie Audio. Clap, sync. But yeah, that's definitely something you do, and there's a lot of the thing in a person's mind with the whole. Well, I'm better than that guy. Obviously, I deserve more subscribers than he has. Or why does that guy get more views than I do?
Yeah.
Like that whole thing that you probably have from your upbringing or something,
Mm,
because life is a fucking competition.
mm,
That shit sort of disappears with the Magpie Pirates because now I have you.
mm.
I don't need. I still do the whole clickbaity thing, like when Andrew Huang now has a super successful concept with the four producers flip the same
Yeah.
sample. I go in and do one producer flip four samples because I think it's hilarious to begin
Yeah.
with. Like I never do anything just for the views, but I like to jump at a lot of ideas
Yeah.
because I'm pretty fast at
I'm I
doing
mean,
stuff.
that's just a good idea. Did that get a lot of views?
No, I
That
don't get any
video?
views right now
Yeah. Oh,
because of
right. Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything gets yellow marked. So fuck you, tube.
Ah, no.
No.
Got him.
Ah, but I
All right.
said fuck you too. The YouTube, I didn't. Kidding. I don't care
All right.
that
Uh
much.
All right. This one it seems like you end up using pianos a lot for someone who isn't a pianist. Is there something about them that you're particularly fond of, or is it just that so many people want to get rid of them?
Dude, it's a nice base of. It's a very easy sound because it's very familiar.
Hmm.
It's always been there. It seems caveman
Right.
before the wheel they invented the piano. you know, so and
Yeah.
it's not as lame as the guitar in a
Oh
sense
yeah. Oh
because the
yeah.
guitar is one of those instruments as well
Right.
that you just oh, that's an acoustic guitar. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very nice to have a physical piano.
Hmm.
Partially I can experiment with it, like I can find things to do with it because it's such a physically appealing thing. It's
Hmm.
nice to just do stuff with it, but for music it fills up a lot of space, which is very very nice, and it automatically, I think, for every person just draws a red line to something. I don't know if that's how you say that, but you do. Each and every person will make an association to the piano sound in any given scenario because it's always been around your entire life. So if I
Mm,
do a song where I have piano, that just makes the song seem a bit more familiar
mm,
in my mind. And then, of course, as you were saying, people throw out a lot of pianos.
mm.
But that's more going into me burning and smashing and picking pianos apart.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to do that as well because, like, where I come from, very middle class family, my parents always had a piano.
Uh-huh.
Uh, my pianos always had parents. They're almost, but there's always been a piano, so
Yeah.
it's very fun. It's almost a childlike, I'm doing something that I shouldn't do,
Ah,
breaking
yeah. Yeah.
this thing. So it's not for the sake of being like controversial or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's more like yeah, I feel a bit excited to
Yeah.
break a piano because I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't.
Yeah, it's like kind of a sacred thing almost,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
piano.
kind of. It's a family thing.
Mm.
But also for me, it's very fun to try, and I always do that. I take something that has been used for so long and
Mm.
seemingly everything has been done with it, and I try to come up with original ideas with it that I believe wholeheartedly in me that I made up. Like I have no reference. I think I invented the wheel basically with the whole. I want to try playing a piano with a bow. I've never seen
Yeah.
anybody do that. Like that would
Yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
wow, I'm the first person to try this. This is
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously, most likely I'm not. But as soon as I can trick myself into believing something like that, the video or the production is going to get better because those emotions are going to go into that. It's
Mm.
going to make me feel a bit powerful, a bit above everyone else. Fuck you, I'm playing my piano with a bow.
Yeah.
Did
Rebellious.
you do
Yeah,
that?
punk.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh.
kind of like that. So that's pretty nice with
Mm.
something as the piano because it's fun, but it's not as fun for me to do something with something that is more narrow that nobody has done
Mm.
before, like where it's when nobody this is stupid enough for nobody to have tried out. Well, okay, I'm the first one doing this stupid shit.
Mm.
But if it's something as a piano or as a guitar, which I'm turning more and more going in that direction too, with the whole inside out pickups, and way back I did putting piano strings on a bass. So that's sort of
Mm.
symbiosis between those two. But finding things to do with guitars is also going to be like, wow, I'm really excited about believing that I'm breaking new ground where I probably ain't, and where it's probably not possible, but it will
Mm.
feel like it.
Right.
So that's cool.
Speaking of
Uh,
pianos being sacred, like how do you feel about um music, like ever since I guess the industry of music? I mean, like obviously no, at this point no one was around before the industry of music, but like how do you feel about this idea of like, the family centered around the piano in the room and like people entertaining themselves as opposed to like going around I mean at a record player or like a CD or just playing music in your headphones like
I'm gonna do it. Maybe this is going in a different direction, but I
yeah.
recently saw a video about something that I felt was very interesting, and I was talking with Carl Michael about this as well. Shout out again, Cab Curio. This time being recorded. uh, that okay, we need to start like this. So way back, I live in Sweden. That's where we can start. We're like the most secular country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really praise the Lord
Mm-hmm.
that much. And I think that's a global trend that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, fucking YouTube comments. Don't fucking comment. What the fuck is happening? Every comment. What the fuck? Like 10 comments in a row?
That sounds more
Okay.
like
What? It's like the computer just decided, let's sync your Gmail now. Let's do it now. Uh, Anyways, so we're not praising God anymore. So
Yeah.
back in the day, and this was about music, how we are so focused on, like, I'm an example in this, obviously a very small example, but like the person
Mm-hmm.
doing doing the creativity, how that has become like the new thing to worship. Since we're not like back in the day, everyone was just satisfied with, okay, we worship a god, so we making music or other types of creative work in that sense was just the same as being a construction worker or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We just make ends meet because we already had a god. But these days we are praising people, like the people, more and more and more.
Yeah.
And that
That
means
too.
that like the personality and how that person is living their lives and like reality shows and everything stems from that instead, because like what's below god in everyone's minds? Well, it's the people. So we need to worship something, like we feel a need for that, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
since that's how we have evolved. So then we praise people instead. So I think that's why it has become such an absurd industry to begin with, from coming from the family home where nobody knew who really wrote the songs you were playing. Even
Right.
nobody sat down to make masterpieces to make money.
Yeah.
Everyone just did it, like people who wrote music did it because they just wanted to do that, tell a story, I guess.
Mm.
I don't really know. I don't know those people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. But these days you can go into the music industry or the YouTube industry or any place at all as an artist kind of person and just don't give a fuck about the artistry at all. You're only in it for the money or the
Mm.
products and stuff like that, which is sad in a sense, I
Mm.
believe. I try to be very much encouraging of creativity and not so much encouraging about the gear bragging. If we're gonna
Mm.
talk current events, whenever I see people like, oh, nice, you're essentially showing a pile of money on your Instagram that you spent. Very cool of you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the question was.
No, I think it veered into something more interesting anyway. I what do you feel about like this, like obviously, right. I think most of the people in the Magpie Pirates aren't people that do it for money, but at the same time we benefit from people who do it for money. Like I use plugins that were made for Deadmau5 and shit. I mean, not saying that Deadmau5 doesn't like I'm sure he really loves his music, but like, just that sort of crowd that, you know, I
Yeah, I
think
don't
we all, yeah.
feel a lot about it at all, actually. Like, I
Mm.
don't have an issue with people even going into, like, if someone were to come along and completely copy my format, like, what's it called? It's called something, infringement. No, it's called some
Yeah, yeah,
plagiarism.
yeah,
If someone were to plagiarize me completely,
yeah.
only to make money off of it, I
Yeah.
don't think I want to believe that I wouldn't get that pissed about it, because that's not why I'm doing it. So I don't have to give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hear
as
that?
long as
Everyone
that
go and
person,
get all of
yeah.
his videos and censor it and then make $1 billion. That's people are gonna do that now.
As long as I don't get like that person starts copyright striking me and being like, no, well, you stole my
Yeah.
format.
Oh
Then I
yeah,
would
yeah,
get pissed, then I
yeah,
would just become sad about that. But
yeah,
in any other given scenario, I don't really feel anything about it. And when it comes to, like, obviously that's really good that we can benefit from the people. Then it becomes like a circle of life
yeah, yeah.
kind of thing that we
Underground
as the
industry.
underground
Mm.
culture can live off of what the other people are doing. We're like the scavengers picking up
Mm. The
the
magpie.
rich people's crap,
Yeah.
you know? And that's just good. That's a good aspect of it. Obviously, I would like to see more successful people doing good for the world. That would have been very nice. Like when they are successful, start giving away stuff. But that applies to anyone being successful.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is all I'm saying. So more of that. But I mean, most shit is downloadable for free, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So Just, I'm not I'm not saying you should crack everything. I'm saying you could.
Do you ever find yourself beginning to write a song about something personal and not getting into it because you have a pretty big audience?
Yeah, like I make sure I usually stop myself at the posting point
Yeah.
rather than the making point. I still go into projects and make them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
recently, I recorded first of all, I recorded like 2 or 3 ASMR videos, and I'm like, nah, too cringe. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't really pull it off, but I still wanted to try it because I enjoy certain aspects of the ASMR community,
yeah. Mm,
and some of those ASMR artists actually that are good at what they do.
mm,
It's not only sexualized, but I didn't post it because I couldn't stand by it at a posting stage. And the same goes for music. And I also I filmed myself doing a stand up routine just in this room, just standing and doing stand up. Like I wrote jokes and everything, analog
yeah,
weapon
yeah.
notes. I practiced a bit in Discord, voice chat. But that also just became so goddamn cringe. So I completely never
Yeah.
gonna post that. And when it comes to music, obviously I write. I don't know. I try to write because it mainly boils down to lyrics rather
Mm,
than how it sounds when it comes
yeah.
to what's personal or not. Because you don't know
Mm,
unless I tell you how personal it is.
right.
If I have crying kids in my music, you don't know that I was the one hurting them. That was not. No, no. But if I sing very personal stuff, I always cover it up in a. I put a layer of generic on top of it, just a
uh,
butter
mm,
of generic on it, so it
yeah.
can apply to other people's problems and other
Uh,
people's lives. Because I think that's a good way to relate as well.
mm.
Not everyone can be that person who is so interesting. So if you only focus on your own pains and agonies, people are still gonna.
Yeah,
I
that's
would just come across as a whiny bitch if I did that.
yeah, that's a special kind of person. Yeah, there
Yeah,
aren't many of those like that.
it's also hard to harvest darkness.
Oh yeah,
Definitely, like
without being
most
a
of my
bad
music is
voice.
happy because I need to make happy music.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in a bad place, that's not generally when I am the most creative.
Mm.
Uh,
So
that's
you
then
have
I'm
the
just
some
playing
people
video games.
say some people say like, "Oh, when I'm sad or when I'm angry, I just get down to it and write some music." You're kind of the
No,
opposite.
I play video games and
Yeah.
masturbate. Just until it blows over,
Yeah,
eat a lot of
right.
McDonald's or something. I don't
Uh,
know. Just do that.
Speaking of lyrics, were there any songs that you've written you've like done in the past, like maybe not even some of the Magpie stuff that you're like, "Oh man, I really like the instrumentals, but like the
Oh, but
lyrics,
yeah.
yeah."
Oof. It's like even Magpie songs is like,
Yeah.
wow, this
Yeah.
is embarrassing.
Yeah.
This is like, imagine when I was 15, 16 and writing lyrics in English
Oh.
and performing them in English with
Yeah.
a really bad Swedish accent, and just the entire thing is just really awful,
Uh-huh.
using like big words that I don't understand to come across as
Yeah.
like emotional and smart at the
Yeah.
same time. And it's just like my peers were kind of, wow, this is wow, because they didn't, yeah, shit, I they didn't understand it,
Right.
so there's a cover up.
Yeah.
But then, so like recently, I did a compilation for my Patreons of like 20 songs or something that I put up for Patreons. Shout out my Patreon.
Yeah.
With like music from before I was the Magpie, and I was thinking about doing it for like, if I ever reach 100K as well, to have that as a form of celebration, to look back and just
Oh yeah.
push through how awful that is and just show that the way to become better at what you do is by doing a lot of bad stuff
Right.
for a long time.
Like
Not
hurting
saying that,
babies.
yeah, like hurting, just every bad idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, about lyrics. If I could go in and delete, like on Bandcamp, it's easy. I can just delete one song from an album, even as the
Mm,
Magpie. But if I can't
yeah.
do it on Spotify and stuff like that, so those have a couple of songs that I'm not that proud of.
Mm. Do you have videos like that you were really like that are still up that you were like really attached to the idea of, but after posting them and after a while of them kind of like
Yeah, for
fermenting?
sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Uh, I think I have. I don't know if you can see how many videos I have posted, like on my YouTube channel. Maybe someone can write that in chat. But if I go to
Yeah.
my studio, I don't know if I can check that quick here, just to go to videos, just to do a comparison, and you will. This is just context right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's just I have like 900 videos uploaded to my YouTube channel.
Mm.
So I'm soon to hit 1,000 videos uploaded. And I mean, how many are public? Like 300, maybe.
Mm.
I don't know. I can't see that number. But so there's a big, I'm constantly privatizing back catalog.
Mm.
So there's always going to be, for me, it's a lot of scrolling now to go back and sort out, like, oh, do I want to still have this up? So I don't do it that frequently. But if I stumble upon one of my own videos and I really like the idea, but the video is awful, I'm going to take it down quick.
Do you redo the idea? Have you ever done that?
I don't think I redid the telephone microphone video
Yeah.
now because I could do it so fast, and I'm gonna do it with like how to piezo or kalimba because it takes me like 5 minutes to do.
Mm.
Might as well have 5 minutes of me how I act right now. I know we talked about that before. How you almost felt a switch in my behavior at one point. I always look at life in like levels, and I think I leveled up at that point in my own delivery. Like
Mm.
editing wise was very harder just a year ago from what it is now because I wasn't fluent at all in the same sense. I
Yeah.
cover up so much of my thinking with speaking
Mm.
now. So it's not a lot of black spots in the videos.
Yeah, right.
Me
Yeah.
just standing, figuring out what to say. So it's very different in the behavior, and that makes it way easier and smoother to make the video. Even though
Right.
I never script anything, my script is having the idea.
Yeah.
I did script the stand up that did not go well.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bad at that.
Do you like think out the video a little bit like ahead, right? And like kind of like think about
Sometimes,
talking
yeah,
points or something?
I do, and it's all those videos always go way worse.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, as soon as I have something in my own mind to live up to, like if I have points I want to come across, that's sort of setting a bar in my own mind. That's setting like, okay, these points need to come across because I think these are good points.
Mm.
Uh, if I fail at delivering those points, and I feel like I'm failing delivering those points, that will make me feel worse in the action of recording the video.
Yeah.
So definitely not my workflow at all
Mm.
to do like that. But sometimes, since I walk here from at home, I don't live here in
Mm.
this room. There, I can sometimes sort of structure where I want to start. Like the end result is basically always the idea.
Right.
That like if the idea is like I was saying before we started this live stream, I want to put barbed wire on a bass and see if that is can make sound in any shape or form,
Mm.
to have that as strings. That's what's going to happen in the video. But I
Right.
don't, at this point, I don't know if I'm going to do it off camera and start the video where I have it. Am I boring you?
No, no. I'm making
Okay.
myself more attentive.
Okay, oxygen.
Yeah.
No, but just saying, like, if I start recording when I start doing it, like putting the strings or finding the barbed wire,
Yeah, yeah.
do I start at going to the store to pick up barbed wire?
Yeah.
Like, where do I start? What do I want to have in the video?
Mm,
Usually the idea is silly enough for me to just turn on the camera and start from the beginning, from the
mm,
start of, I have the idea of what I want to do,
mm,
let's just see where it goes. And
mm.
then the video, usually those recordings are between 1 and 3 4 hours long, so it's a lot of cutting down
Right.
things.
To
You know, you were
10
there when I did the
minutes.
techno with toys, you know, that
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
1 hour of just figuring out
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a dishonest delivery in that sense, that I cut out big chunks of thinking, I guess,
Yeah.
figuring stuff out. But I generally try to at least communicate that, oh, I took a break here, I needed to
Yeah.
think, blah, blah,
Yeah, no.
blah. Because that's like a curse of YouTube, is that it often, when I watch other YouTubers, and this is something that I realized years ago, is that I feel like what they're doing is very fluent. It seems very easy for
Yeah.
those people to do
Snappy
what they're
editing.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's more about the editing than anything else that makes
Right.
them look so good.
Yeah.
Which is also a really fun part with doing so much of the process, especially when I haven't done that in a while now, but when I film myself making music, like I did a lot with the Cat album.
Mm.
um, so much of it is just the process. I have no idea which directions I'm going to go in. If I start, oh, here's a Cat keyboard, blah 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 blah, I don't know what song I'm gonna write and stuff like that. So it
Mm.
becomes the experience in itself, and then I can come across with real emotions of pain and agony when everything goes bad, and that has humor in it. I think that's really funny, to lower the bar of what you want to deliver. Like, don't be embarrassed by stuff going bad or
Mm.
wrong. Like, that doesn't really exist, because what you're doing is you're entertaining in those scenarios. You're not really teaching anything
Mm.
except life lessons.
How not to be type A. Everything needs to be perfect.
Yeah, well, you live stream yourself doing like music production. I don't do
Yeah.
that because I can't bother that much with chat. You know,
Yeah.
there's one more
I
element.
Yeah, there was like one of the I think two times that I did it, there was one person was like, "Keep doing this." And I was like,
Nah,
no. Yeah. So I was like, well,
maybe.
I like it because it feels like I'm performing in a way that you wouldn't get. Like, I don't know if you feel like that when you're doing a video, but it feels like you're performing by making the song in a way,
Yeah,
yeah. And that
which is
makes it,
really cool.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
But that's why I bring in Speak Out, and I'm gonna do that more and more. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm,
Need to figure out how to do it. But that's a really fun element as well, to have like you and other people being there with me in the moment, because
yeah.
I have no idea what you're gonna do, and usually it turns out really funny because things get out of hand, and I can so easily save it in editing as well, since I'm recording the Discord voice chat on a separate track, like I'm
Mm,
multi-tracking it, so I can
mm,
cut out only your voices if I feel like it,
right.
uh, which is really nice. So I can
Yeah.
just keep the good bits of that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Were there speaking of music performance, were there any like particular experiences with music performance that kind of made you adverse to it, or have you always just felt like I don't want to perform music live?
I did perform music live when I was younger.
Mm,
There are even concerts posted on my YouTube channel that are private now,
mm,
90% chance. I had like a punk band when we were 16 or something like that. I was a front singer. Really fun, really good times. I always get some sort of, it's not really stage fright. I just lose the connection between my mind and my body on stage. You know, you become like shaky and stuff. And I always try to think about it, like, why is this? I don't get this. I am not. I'm not shaky, and I'm not meaning like
Yeah.
spasmic or anything like that, but like I
Yeah.
become shaky
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
stage in front of people in a weird. It's a weird emotion that I don't like,
Mm.
and it's nothing to do with being like. I don't have a hard time bjuda på mig själv. It's
Like
Swedish. It
public
means
speaking.
yeah, but what I mean is I don't feel embarrassed if that makes sense. Like I
Mm.
can do funny stuff. I don't know how to say it in English. Uh, yeah, it means like you don't. I'm not pretentious. It's one
Right.
way of saying it, but
You can
I
make
don't take
mistakes
myself
and
too
will.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So it doesn't matter to me if I do a bad performance because that's not what I'm about. I'm kind of a funny guy,
Yeah.
intuitive like that with the audience. Uh, but first of all, doesn't really. I don't know how to perform my music live. Should I have a
Yeah.
laptop and play it,
Yeah.
sing with it? Like I do
Yeah.
everything myself.
That's yeah.
That's kind
That's
of a
a
hard one.
yeah.
So I would
I
probably like completely improvise if I did a
mm.
live thingy, and that would just be. It would be more like a improv stand up together with the audience.
Yeah.
Just you come up here, let's
Yeah.
talk or something.
Yeah.
Like figuring that out on the spot. But it's not like a lot of opportunities are presenting themselves either. I
Mm.
don't have a lot of opportunities to say yes, I would like to come here and do live because I won't follow the rules that they will most likely put. I will not agree to not swearing. I did that when I did a thing.
The Roland
Uh,
thing, or yeah,
yeah,
with
I don't know.
Heimbach.
Yeah, exactly. And like the first word I said was a curse word because I just couldn't keep it down, Uh, it's just who I am. Don't give me rules unless you want me to break them. It's
Yeah.
easier
Right.
to just not give me rules and I won't break them,
Yeah. Or just
I
have a
guess.
dump. Just
Because,
hit
yeah,
the mute
yeah.
button. Hit the mute button.
What?
Like
What?
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you just,
Yeah. Yeah.
someone else with that
Yeah.
function. But also, or you just have another person that screams beep right off
Yeah.
the other mic. But it also stems from really I believe I'm a good person,
uh,
I kind of have that figured out for myself that I do good stuff and I try to pay attention in life to do more good stuff, to not just take things for granted like oh everything is just going like it's going. So lame things such as cursing I don't really respect unless there's a good reason for it. Obviously, if I were to do like a school thing in front of middle school kids to be like, oh, you want to be a person when you grow up, then I would most likely not curse
I want to be a
because
unicorn.
yeah it's
Yeah.
not my
Yeah.
I don't want to be that role model, but it's
Yeah.
this when it comes to my YouTube channel I'm not inviting young viewers. I don't want young viewers,
Right.
not under the age of cursing.
Yeah. Well, I think now, like I help middle school, like age children with stuff, and they cuss all the time. Like
But they're
like
bad at it.
young,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
understand
they're bad at
when
it,
to
but
put
like
it into a
right.
sentence.
But do you think
Fuck
if someone that
pancakes.
someone that age like was watching one of your videos and like found music from that, like found
Yeah,
music
that's really cool.
making, yeah.
But I mean, I'm doing it more from like if it's consensual from the parents, I don't have a problem with them watching. But like, I get emails from parents being concerned, like, "Oh,
Really?
I watch my videos with my kids. Could you please not drink alcohol or curse in your videos?"
Hmm.
And yeah, you maybe explain to your kids that
Yeah.
this is not a role model. Then
Yeah.
so that
I
should
don't know.
solve that. But also, I'm drinking less and less in videos, mainly because I haven't been drinking in my life
Mm.
at all, like much at all
Mm.
lately. I don't know why, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Not a conscious thing. But yeah, same here. I've worked with kids. Like I have a job, and my job from before that job, and ever since I quit school, I have worked with kids.
Mm.
So I don't have a problem with them.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're coming from a care point of view because you have that
Yeah,
as your job. You understand parents and their concerns.
yeah. Like I
Yeah.
work primarily, and I have always done with people, mainly new adults, if that's a word you can use, with autism.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the sector, or however you say that
Mm.
in language, where I
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
Social something,
Yeah.
social worker.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to say it. Um, Shit like that. But there's a lot of like I have a lot of privileges because I'm Swedish. You know, we have a
Mm.
really nice society for the people, so I don't have to care that much for success or money. I'm not driven by money because I don't have to be,
Mm-hmm.
rather than like it would be nice, obviously, but since healthcare not really a problem and education was never a problem, and
Yeah.
jobs and living situation, I don't have kids of my own. You know, if I can buy cat food for my cat, then that's not solve that one pretty easily. She's kind of self-sustainable in
Yeah.
all other ways. So that means that I can value my free time, which is my Magpie time,
Mm.
way more. That's why I can post as much as I'm doing, because I work as little as possible, because I don't need the money from my regular job as well.
Mm.
But it frees me up to have. I really don't want to be my own boss. I really like to have a job that I go to. So
Right.
it's freeing freedom. Good
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did it take you to get to the point where you're like comfortable enough with a Magpie place, or maybe you've always done this with a workplace, or where you just fucking decorate it and it's just you, like just vomit everywhere?
So this room started
Yeah.
off with me and Mrs. Magpie, my wifey.
Mm-hmm.
We had this. We made art. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I always made. I hate people who say that they've always made music. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I started playing music when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Shitting
you were smacking
pizzas on an
sticks.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That shit. I've done it before, but yeah, smacking sticks on a table and screaming your lungs out does not really count. Every kid does that. It's like all of those people saying that. No, I started doing this because I was very into Lego when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Name one kid who could afford had parents that could afford Lego that wasn't into like that one kid.
Yeah.
Find him or her. Fuck that. Anyways, we started off making art in here
Mm-hmm.
way before I knew about circuit bending or anything like that. So I had all of my music stuff in my room in the apartment where I was living with a friend. There are jam sessions from in that apartment. He had like a drum kit and everything, like a tiny one, and just instruments everywhere. That was a mess, that place. But then we started being here. We were actually in a smaller room over there. We made art, and then we moved into this room, and it was still our room. And we covered this room completely with cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
So the walls, now it's only the floor that is paper,
Mm.
but all the walls and everything, so we could just splash around color and stuff. And we made a lot of big art pieces. Like I have 3 pieces of a painting back here to cover up the window because people look at me weird. So that's a 10 piece. So it's 5 meters
Yeah.
by 2 meters that we just threw color on from a really high height, like from 5 meters down to that, and then it become
Mm.
like a huge space thing. There's a picture somewhere of that. But then I got introduced to circuit bending by a colleague, and she had a couple of toys. So and my father-in-law had a soldering iron, so we just did it. Like my friend presented it because he wanted to do it. It's
Yeah.
the same guy who did the piano strings and a bass, and we did
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we did another video where we did something with a piano, like a piano tuning chords per key, which did
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
work,
yeah.
but it was fun to try. That guy wanted to start circuit bending, so he was watching videos about it, and he introduced me to it, and I went home and did it, essentially.
Mm.
Just tried it out, and I like doing it. So I did it with a couple of toys. I still have them, like 2 toys. I'm not a sentimental person, but it's not my toys, so I can't throw them away.
Oh, okay.
But then I had a Behringer pedal, a Plastic Fantastic. So I just opened that and tried it with the pedal and realized very quickly that it's way more fun to circuit bend a pedal, mainly because you can have it going on the entire time.
Mm.
Like circuit bending a keyboard, you're gonna have to restart the keyboard over and over and over again and
Right.
try to press buttons in order for it to make sound while you're circuit bending. When you don't have any knowledge, like me, about the actual circuitry,
Mm.
and don't know what you're doing, just poking around, it's way more fun to do a pedal because you can just have audio running through it
Yeah, yeah.
and don't have to bother with that. You only have 2 hands to work with.
Right.
And then, so it was kind of more messy back then, if we're going to talk. Now I have furniture.
Right.
But all of the furniture in here is picked up for free that is supposed to be thrown away. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the table, it's way smaller in here than you think as well, because the fisheye adds
Right.
10 pounds or something. I don't know.
10
It
square
adds 10
feet.
yeah,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
square feet. But so this table is like from a lawyer firm that were supposed to be thrown out. So I just kept the tabletop and I put it on one of those IKEA like riseable things. I can
Mm.
rise it and lower it if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to. Same with that one. And yeah, so all of that is just for free. Then I have the blue painting that I did way back that I really like. It really adds light blue to this room, if that makes sense. When you film with a GoPro, which is the camera of choice for me,
Mhm.
oh, you can still not see it at all. Hey. uh, Usually everything becomes a bit red because my face is red. So if I have
Mm.
something light blue, it's gonna read that on the camera. And then just putting up all the instruments, and I'm not afraid to break things, so I am not afraid to color things up. Also
Mhm.
with a sentimental thing, I guess. So I just color up everything because it's fun to wreak havoc.
Mm.
It's nice to allow yourself to do stuff like that as well. It opens up your inner madness.
Mm. Uh
Commercial break.
yeah, yeah. Do you find that there's any problem breaking down the walls between the process of making music in the way that you do?
What walls?
Like, usually for consuming music, right? You get an album, put it on. Like, but for you, you see parts of the album, like parts of the songs being made in a video, and then like there's a part of that mystery gone as to like how that sound was made and
Oh
how
yeah, yeah,
you arranged
definitely.
it.
So you mean like how I deliver myself,
Yeah, yeah,
in a sense?
yeah, yeah.
So definitely something that I am aware of. There are songs like the latest song that I dropped that is just a single from an
Mm,
EP that I want to drop something in between Toy album and Cat album. Uh, that one I didn't do anything production wise with on camera. I
mm,
wanted it to be kind of a surprise. It also comes from almost collaborating with other YouTubers. Like they sent in some samples. I'm gonna do a video like breaking it down. How I mixed it is the plan,
mm,
but then my computer broke. Still gonna try to do it though. But for sure, marketing, if we're gonna go into that, is a thing. So this is one type of marketing for the Cat album, for example, hyping people up over a period of time with showing what's gonna be on
mm,
it in videos. And then that sort of became a one-hit wonder as well with the Cat video.
mm,
Always gonna be known as that guy. Um, But that's one type of marketing, and if another one would be to keep the mystery, obviously revolving to be like, he only does these weird videos where he circuit bends and shit like that, blah blah blah, and then what, here's an album. That was sort of how it
Yeah.
was with my first album.
Right.
All the feedback was that people were surprised over the music because they have only seen me devices, and then the music is like super poppy, happy fucking ukulele songs, not really expected, I guess.
Mm.
uh, but I do enjoy the format of filming myself making music a lot. The problem is that since the cat video, that's something I'm kind of known for with new subscribers, and it's not something I exclusively do,
Mm.
which is always going to be a problem for me when it comes to like catering an audience, because if your audience expects something, like there are YouTubers out there that do the exact same thing in every video for hundreds of videos because their audience want that. Like a good example might be demoing pedals. You always just show a pedal in your demo and you get known for that. That's not who I am, and I'm trying to break down those walls more with, okay, you are one of my subscribers because you are entertained by me, what I do, no matter what I do. And obviously the channel is revolving around music, and if I were to do stuff that are outside of audio, maybe outside of art, I guess, then I might consider not posting that on my channel. But maybe, I don't know. I have been filming plunger trick shot because
Yeah,
I
that's
have a really cool idea.
isn't that what we did the gaming and stuff channel for?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Go
That
check
might
out that
only be
channel,
gaming,
subscribe
though.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, might only be gaming though. Lots of funny gaming ideas as well now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you never know how you want to grow. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck either. I think that's more important. That's also why I kind of avoid turning it into a livelihood with like selling merch or selling products and stuff like that, because as soon as I have to rely on it and it doesn't rely on me, that's going to become harder for me to follow through on.
Mhm.
But a lot of it boils down to what I want to do, and what I want to do is more inspire than aspire. I try to come up with ideas like the microwave and stuff like that, where the entire idea is based on you having to do something. Like
Yeah.
it's if nobody did anything within that idea, it wouldn't be a thing at all. But now people made a lot of music with it.
Mhm.
But it all depends as well, like where you are. I am thankfully thank graduation is a word. uh, Gratefully, I'm gonna say, enough. I have subscribers,
Mhm.
so harder, because if I talk to the camera, I don't know if anyone is gonna watch. Like I'm talking to nobody. But now when I turn on the camera and feel myself doing a stupid idea, that's going to reach somebody that might be inspired, and that's going to
Mhm.
feel good.
Yeah.
That's also why, that's a big portion of why I started the Magpie Pirates. How like which direction I want that community to go in, because obviously it would be really easy to make, as we were touching on a tiny bit in the beginning, a community that is just revolving around me. A new
Mhm.
video I made, like I have the update thread, but I don't even do it for every video because I'm a tiny bit ashamed to do it sometimes. Watch me. But like it could be revolving around me and me only, and just be reactions to me and stuff like that. But I want it to be about you more. I kind of want to utilize my platform as a marketing platform for you as
Mhm.
well, which is something, a lot of failed projects on that subject, with the whole, the companies that want to be on my channel can send me products, I send them out to you, you do a video, you get shown, and the companies get happy because they have my platform. Logistically, that was a nightmare for like the one product that I sent out, which was to you.
Was
of
it
all
really a
people.
nightmare?
yeah, to figure out a relationship with other brands where they adopt the idea was a nightmare because they all want to send it to me,
Yeah.
and then I have to send it to you.
Because you're the safe bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that idea just boof, it's gone. Instead, I'm just giving away stuff that I don't want to keep.
Mm.
But also the whole thing with starting like a community YouTube channel where we are live streaming this right now and having the community Bandcamp, like it would be so easy for an audience or for a forum to angle that to only be to benefit me. Like if
Mm.
I were to do that on Facebook, it would essentially be angled as if I am taking your work and making it marketing for myself. Like I'm putting
Yeah.
myself to be like this. Look how good I am for work that you have done.
Mm.
But if it's inside the community, by the community on a community channel, that means that it's holy, it's sacred in a different way
No.
for that type of criticism. Like I don't want the community to be about me. I want me. I want me to be about the community. Like I want me
Mm.
to be able to market the community because if that's a platform, if the Magpie Pirates has a channel, YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers, that's bigger than many people on the Magpie Pirates Discord that might be new into music or not having an audience, and all of a sudden they join a place that is very open where they can put themselves out there, even if they want
Mm.
to take their best art. Obviously you should keep that for yourself, anybody watching or listening, and post that on your own platform. But then you have a platform with 10,000 subscribers where you can put out something else. You can be a part of a challenge, maybe like the microwave. You can just, okay, I'm going to do this for a night, fun, try this out. It's going to become something that will be posted on a bigger platform with a link to you.
Mm.
Shit like that,
Yeah.
you know. And then the whole fucking community is so self-aware in a sense that people are legit becoming friends, like we were touching on before. Like people are actually paying attention to other people rather than just, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, oh, this is me, here I am, like using it like that.
Mm.
People are actually tuning into each other and coming with constructive feedback and stuff like that, which is cool. Because that's, if you look at Facebook, how it is, most threads have like a policy that is don't self promote. They
Mm.
have to at some point have put that as a rule because they need it. I doubt that they start a Facebook group on a subject that is like synthesizers or whatever, and from the get go they are like, no, people can't self promote here. Like it's gotta be to fill up a need of, okay, that's the only thing people are doing, and it's just boring. It's a boring
Yeah.
feed. It doesn't fit what we want this to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Facebook groups are. Ugh. They're kind
It's
of.
weird.
Yeah. Just- yeah. They aren't too. They're nothing like this. You know. They're
Yeah, it's
nothing
nice.
like
The
the
Discord, it's
Discord.
also
Yeah.
like the whole category function is very, it opens up a lot to
Mm.
have like, you can't really have that on other, like obviously there are other platforms that probably can have that, but it's also really fun to not have a paywall for a community. Like if I were to do the exact same thing only on Patreon, that would have been kind of boring.
Yeah.
And just to see how it's growing, and now we got a website that's going to be optimized for anyone to upload way easier and stuff like that.
Mm.
We're working on this, which I'm hoping to bring back the podcast, but in a new format as well.
Mm.
Stuff like that. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Since you were talking about collabs earlier, so that reminded me. Since you've worked with so many awesome people, is there anyone you'd work with that you think you wouldn't get along with just because you know it'd be a shit show?
So like I wouldn't get along with
Yeah,
based on it's gonna be a shit show.
yeah. Well, like
I don't
you
think so.
wouldn't.
Like I
Yeah,
bring a lot to the table when it comes to
yeah.
collabs,
Mm.
and I'm also, you could easily talk about this thing that people talk about a lot, that is like you categorizing people into alpha or beta, you know, alpha
Right.
or beta, and then you
Yeah.
have omega,
Mm.
which is standing on the side and you know,
Right.
that's me
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than anything else. So I don't
Mm.
have a problem with going into a project and taking the lead, and I don't have a problem with going into a project and standing back and letting you
Mm.
take the lead either.
Mm.
So it's very easy for me to collab. I am
Yeah.
also extrovert, you know, I'm not introvert at all.
Mm.
So that also makes it way easier. And I really try to read the room, even though it's often like this over a camera. But there are
Mm.
obviously things that are shameful. For example, I have, I think, 100%, maybe even, only done collabs on my channel with like white male people, like cis male. So that's a bummer,
Yeah.
obviously, because
Mm.
it's nothing that I want to force at all, but it
Mm.
doesn't seem to be. I have messaged a lot more people and tried to reach out to people um, than want to be affiliated with me, if that
Right.
makes sense. So I
Yeah.
get turned down a lot.
Well, that's
Uh,
it's just the
it's
music
not a,
industry, unfortunately.
yeah,
That
maybe.
we're yeah. It's. I mean,
I
I think there should be obviously way more inclusion in the music industry, and that's the problem because
Yeah.
that's why it's only white men. Like,
Yeah, but it's also like I was planning to go into that discussion before and talked a lot with my wifey about it, who's a she's a feminist. I'm also
mm,
a feminist. You have to
mm,
be a feminist because we live in a patriarchy
mm-hmm.
world, so
Yep.
we really can't be anything else. But to not make the fight about me and me taking a stand in a fight, like taking. I don't want to take up space from people that are actively in the fight, if that makes sense. So going in and supporting what's already out there is the angle to take. That's the way you need to go about it. And I tried doing that with reaching out to a lot to just, I have a platform, show yourself on my platform.
Yeah.
Uh, let's take a stand and just know that I back you up because it's such an awful world that we're living in. But it's never happened. So that's that. But I wouldn't say that I'm controversial at all in my behavior. Uh, I just think that we are sort of in a place where the ones setting the rules don't really have the people's interests, and people are following the rules a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
which is just boring. That's not how we can change it. Like one good example is when it comes to monetization on YouTube, it's very, very strict because the YouTube as a platform sort of seems to think that they are not the ones with power. They think that the brands that are advertising are the ones with the power because, oh no, they're gonna not advertise here unless we follow all of their silly rules. Like some of the rules are obviously really good. Like you shouldn't be racist. That's just fucking stupid, and shit like that. But it just becomes twisted. Like it should be YouTube and us being on YouTube, being the platform. We should be so powerful in the sense that everybody is already there. So
Yeah.
many videos are uploaded every day, so many views, so many minutes of watch time every single day. So the companies should flock there to advertise,
Mm.
controversy or no
Yeah.
controversy, you know?
Yeah. I guess there's just a problem with, the adpocalypse kind of happened because there was people who were going from like PewDiePie and saying like, Coke, do you actually support this fool who's saying the N word? Like, And it's
Yeah, but
just
who
like,
cares? Like they
yeah,
would obviously, even if
yeah.
Coca-Cola falls off, there's a billion other companies that would benefit from
Well,
advertising on YouTube
yeah,
because that's where the people are.
yeah,
That's gonna buy their fucking products.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just people are scared of making less money.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that if we're gonna narrow that down, that makes it so some people are afraid to work with me for the sake of me being me,
Right.
even though I'm a silly Swedish person that doesn't really do any harm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, it's yeah, like oh, computer. Like obviously, I understand that companies and brands don't want to work with me. I would most likely not work with me if I was a company or a brand, except if I wanted to have a real honest opinion and also have that little bit of an edgy punk-esque image as a brand as well.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I turn down most of the people who want to work with me, so it's sort of problem that I create.
Mm. How do you this is I'm just always interested to hear this from people. How do you find your environment, like both natural, like the plants, the animals and everything like that, and like the people in the cities and towns? How do you find that um like reflects on your art, if at all?
It's a good question because I'm so stuck in this room at
Yeah.
all times. Like I live in Stockholm city, but I don't live in Stockholm city. Like I
Right.
live 20 minutes outside into the farmers' wood country
Mm.
side of it all. So I get stressed out by going into town because there's so many people.
Mm.
Like it's really hard for me to like where am I even walking? There's so many people,
Right.
so much to take in information wise because people are interesting. So I want to look at everyone.
Mm.
Uh, but it's not like I feel like one of those people that like, oh I need to go out in the forest. I need to do drugs in the forest to
Yeah,
find my spirit animal.
yeah. Take some peyote, dude.
Yeah,
And talk to the spirits.
so nothing like that
Yeah.
either.
So
But
it's just kind of like a
it just
silent
is what it
relationship.
is, you know. You
Yeah.
never know, in my opinion, where you're gonna find inspiration. So don't go looking for it
Right.
unless you
Right.
really have to.
Mm.
If you're that dry, like I'm always in the backwaters of what I want to do, if that makes sense. Like
Mm.
I'm always 5 steps behind myself, you know. There's always that much more that I already have on my idea wall and in my phone that I
Mm.
want to do. So there's really no reason for me to go out and look for inspiration.
Right. So you find it kind of comes more from internally as opposed to like
No,
external.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to say that either, that it's like from inside me about me like that.
Mm.
It's just there is wherever you go, where whatever you do, there's a lot of input, you know?
Mm.
Like the barbed wire thing, I just walked past the barbed wire fence and
Mm.
thought about it, you know?
Did you play it a little bit? Is that like
No,
kind
no,
of
no,
like
it didn't look, it would look
yeah.
fun. It would probably
Yeah.
not even be playable.
If there's
You
enough
never know.
tension, but I guess the problem is like getting that tension on
Yeah,
a
probably. But
yeah.
then also a lot of things snowball, I guess, or spiral out of control. But if you have as a habit of doing stuff, you're gonna do more stuff because you're in like a momentum.
Mm.
If you start singing a lot in your productions, you're gonna sing more in your productions because you started doing that. So I'm always in different periods.
Mm.
I hyper focus, you could kind of say that I do.
Yeah.
So I can go into a bigger project and do only that for a good chunk of time and then come out of it and do something that is inspired by that, but something completely different. So
Mm.
it's a funny thing to do. So just start doing shit, and you're probably gonna do more shit.
Right.
I usually say to people that feel like they are, because it's a thing like writer's block and stuff like that. People have that.
Mm.
Silly people.
Yeah. Do you ever oh, I had the question and then it was just like just committed suicide. But oh, what the fuck? Man, sorry.
If I get stuck, is one
Yeah, yeah.
follow-up question you could ask.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, do your job for you.
I thought it
Arrogant.
was so good too. Like I was like, it's a good question. No, okay. Yeah, I
5 minute
mean,
commercial
oh
break.
yeah, no, okay. Do you ever find yourself consciously breaking a habit? Like, oh shit, I'm doing this too much. I need to fucking get it out of here.
Yeah, all the time. I get bored with what I'm doing. Like comfort zones are only good for so much.
Right.
Shit, you gotta step out of them, otherwise you're just gonna drown
Yeah.
in
So
them.
do you wait until you get bored, or do you stop it before it gets boring?
Or you sometimes I don't even start.
Uh,
This is gonna become boring.
yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But
I
that's
know.
definitely when it comes to like music production, it's like, okay, I'm always panoramating piano sounds to the left ear. Okay, that's gonna become boring for
Yeah.
both for the listener and to me. Let's step that out.
Mm.
And one easy way to do it is obviously to just do the opposite and feel how bad that sounds or is, and then get back to the fucking comfort zone.
Mm.
uh, where you're at least at home.
Mm.
But yeah, for sure. As much as I proclaim being a doer more than a thinker, that does not mean that I don't think about what I'm doing. Uh,
Mm.
you're not gonna. I guess some people are just talented. I'm not talented at a lot. That's why I try so many things, because I
Mm.
just hope to be naturally gifted at something one day.
Mm.
Sports, but never am either.
Mm.
So usually I just try different things instead. Like it's very easy to make boring stuff not as boring. Just break them. It
Mm.
doesn't like add a bit crusher to that track if you feel
Yeah.
like it's bad.
So
Delete that track.
you think you can polish a turd?
Yeah, if you like take another shit.
So just rub shit on shit
Yeah.
until it's
No, but I mean, flush that shit down. Go take a new dump when you
yeah.
feel like pooping instead of polishing. Like that's what people do the most, you know? They do because that's a talent in itself too. It's very easy to come up with an idea, but to finish an idea is not always worth it. So you need to know when to quit.
Mm.
Like even if it could become really good, it might not you might not think that to begin with. When it's done, you might be
Right.
really
Yeah.
bored with it. So even though it's really good, like a really solid, let's say
Shit.
audio production, yeah,
Yeah.
like a really
Eh.
solid shit, might still not be worth it for you. And at some point you gotta take that stance as well. Like, why am I doing this? Is it
Mm.
because I have a loving audience, so I need to produce stuff for them? Then you could just do whatever anyways and release that. They would still drink that shit up like coconut butter oil. Wouldn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, for everything you finish, it's like the same with minimalist approach. You know, for everything you delete from your mind, there's more space for other shit. You can only fill up your bowl of turds so far before it starts spilling over on the floor and becomes a mess that you will most likely don't want to clean up because it's poop.
Mm. It is poop.
Great with analogies right now, I feel.
All right, so we're gonna move on. That was all of my questions. I got
What?
through them. Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
And we're gonna move on to any questions from motherfucking pirates. See what they if they
Like
have
in
any
chat, or have you prepared
burning.
something?
I did. I just asked.
No.
Yeah.
Was
Because
this your preparation?
yeah, it was. It was terrible. Well, I guess we could start by just like you don't have to answer this. Lou wanted to know when your birthday was.
Why?
She wants to know if you're a Gemini.
No,
No.
I'm
Oh,
Virgo.
Lou. Huh? You're a Virgo.
Did you
Okay.
do like a psychoanalysis, but stars?
Yeah.
Astrological analysis.
Yeah.
No, Is it called Virgo? Like the lady, Virgin lady thingy?
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
Autumn. Autumn born.
Mm,
September sometime.
I don't know. So your
So
birthday's coming up.
it's coming up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm leaving 27 Club, so that's gonna be
Uh-huh.
that's gonna feel good. I don't feel like I've accomplished enough to join the 27 Club.
So you think going to the 28 club is like it's gonna
Yeah,
push
I
you
am hoping
further?
for an older club than that. In the like, the end goal is like the 100 Club, maybe. I don't know.
Really? You'd
Yeah,
want
why
to
not?
get to the point where you're kind of
Dude, I
smelly
want to become a
and
senior citizen for
yeah.
sure. Do a fuckload of drugs and play video
Really?
games and like strangle animals or something. I don't know what senior citizens do, but that's from
None
like
of
art.
that. I'm pretty sure it's
I don't know.
I no, I that would be very cool to get to the point where senior citizens are the ones playing like PlayStation 2 and like
Yeah, but that's gonna be our
N64.
generation
Yeah,
because
no,
that's what
exactly.
and we're gonna be so
Yeah.
lame for doing
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
just like the senior citizens today are like, oh, you're knitting or you're smoking pipe. That's so lame.
Yeah.
Look at collecting stamps. Who the
Yeah.
fuck are you?
Yeah.
We don't even send mail anymore.
All right. All these Wikipedia questions, but fine, why not? How tall are you? Are you a tall
Uh,
boy?
I was taller before. I started
What?
actually. Yeah. The gravity is not good for me. But I used to be like 190 centimeters, like
Wait, so
190.
you've actually shrunk?
Yeah, I'm like 188 centimeters now. So I've shrunk 2 centimeters.
What?
Yeah. I think it's
How?
I think it's my back, like getting
Uh,
more. I'm more and more sideways. Like if you look at my shoulders, they
yeah.
are completely fucked. Like one is way
Oh,
higher
yeah.
than the other.
Huh. All
It's
right.
because I
Right.
edit
Yeah. Yeah.
Minecraft.
I'm slouching right now, so unless I want to turn out
Yeah,
like you, I gotta stop. Role
dude,
model,
I got
Simon.
constant back pain.
Oh,
Tell you,
fuck. I'm scared of that.
I never work out either. I always hide behind taking walks here. I'm like, I took a walk for
Yeah.
15 minutes. That's enough for today. I'm gonna walk back as
Yeah.
well.
What's the most expensive thing you've circuit bent? It was by Sybil.
Dude, I've circuit bent a couple of pedals that are like $300 to $500,
Mm,
and they always break.
of
when
course.
they're that
Of
expensive.
course.
And I circuit bent like a pocket piano, kind of expensive too, but it's not. I don't know. I can't afford a lot of expensive stuff, so
Were the pedals from You Send It, I Bend It stuff?
yeah, some
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
indeed. Which is a bummer, but suit yourself for sending me expensive stuff.
Yeah, so do they get mad at you?
Nobody gets mad at me.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people get mad at me.
Yeah.
I did. I'm reviving the series finally. I did an episode now where I circuit bent 10 pedals in the same episode, just to
Holy
show that I'm
shit.
actually doing it.
Oh,
Because I got packages from like 2017 that I still haven't opened.
yeah. But you
So
were burnt out from it, right? Weren't you
yeah,
kind
but
of
it,
like,
it just became such a never-ending story, like a pile of packages that is seemingly unmovable. Like nothing
mm,
happens when I pick a package because there's so many. So even though I stopped receiving packages, it still was just as big of a pile for a long time.
right?
So that sort of bummed me out. That's not really how I. It made me feel like I had to do it, which is
Yeah.
never a good thing for me.
Hmm.
But I still want to do it because I don't want to be a bad person that just got a lot of things from people that were genuinely excited about it,
Mm,
and then I don't send it back. So the plan is obviously to send it back
mm. All right.
if it doesn't break. But like I definitely would not shy away from circuit bending something like an original 808 or something like that. It's not like I don't value things in how much they are worth. That's
Mm.
pointless. It's
Yeah.
just things.
Right. So you value it more by like, oh, it's kind of crappy, but it's worth seeing if it can be circuit bent. Is that kind of
Yeah,
the way you look at it?
like I do. It's like a childish interest in just
Mm.
what's gonna happen if I do this? Blah blah blah. So, but the back side of that coin, like every sausage has two ends. Someone once said, and I picked it up. It's that then it doesn't matter if it's a super cheap thing either.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, DDAC asks if you ever thought about making your own modular module.
Like a
Like,
Magpie module
yeah.
for like people to
If you haven't already
buy
done
or
it. Well,
just
he says DIYing it, which I would imagine is more for yourself than.
yeah, but like I built a couple of kits. I'm not interested in that. It's tedious, in my
Mm,
opinion. Both kits and the DIYing stuff like
mm,
that. Most of my projects, like my DIY projects, I guess we could boil down to either gluing a piezo to something, or uh, like taking a toy and see if it's possible to turn it into a pedal or something
mm,
like that, which is generally like a 1 hour. So it's not. I don't know circuitry at all either. I can't read schematics or anything like that.
mm.
So I really couldn't. I can't build a simple fuzz circuit even or anything
Hmm.
like that. I don't know which
Are they
components.
simple, like relatively?
You could probably
Fuzz.
do it with like 5 to 10 components, but I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
for my life know how to write those components together, route like on a
Yeah, yeah.
breadboard. So I mean, I don't know if maybe in the future,
Mm,
but I'm not super interested in it. Like I have a friend that's gonna come here and we're gonna do like DIY pedals and stuff because he knows how to do it, and then I think it's fun for him to do it on my channel, and I can be there with him for the fun of that.
mm.
Different approach. I don't want to have to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Life is hard enough as it is.
Do you find it hard to take a step back from something? Uh, like maybe I'm guessing this is what Teeny Tiny Robots asks. Um, I'm
Like when I'm
guessing that
in something,
like like a tub of molasses. No, like a project. Like do you generally take a step back before you finish it, or is it like do you
I
know?
try.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that you have to consciously adopt and think about. Like I
Yeah.
so not. If you've ever seen that movie Schizophrenic or something, he's a mathematician and it's the guy from Gladiator. So good with titles,
What's
Mastermind something.
what's the movie? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
So it's the guy from Gladiator and
Oh,
he's a
okay.
mathematician, and it's like a scene in that movie. Maybe someone can write it in chat.
Yeah.
Like he wins the Nobel Prize and stuff, but he's also schizophrenic or something like that. I don't want to group uh, stuff together. Doesn't matter. Anyways, there's like a scene where, oh, have you eaten anything? And it's been like 10 hours of him just sitting with a mathematician problem for
Yeah.
and forgetting everything else. And that's generally where I feel like I end up as well. And then you become angry, and since you haven't eaten, you haven't taken a break, that anger just makes it so you make more mistakes, and then you try to fix those mistakes, leading to more mistakes, and it's
Hmm.
just a bad situation. So taking a step back and taking breaks is really good to do, whatever you do, definitely, but it's hard.
Um, Dipwith asks if you have a favorite instrument, toy, keyboard,
If I have a
guitar.
favorite person in the Magpie Pirates
No,
community,
no, no. Favorite
yeah,
instrument.
favorite
Yeah,
instrument, like
like a
I really
toy, anything.
I ever since I got the ukulele when I was really young, I really
Mm,
liked that, because the music that I did was weird with the ukulele because it's like pop
right.
stuff. So that one has always been around in the music.
Uh huh.
Uh, then like I have this Urek module with a joystick that I really
Oh
like to do.
yeah, that looks so
But
much
also
fun. Oh my
I just
god.
really like simple stuff. Like that's why I go with the pocket operators and the
Mm,
OP1. And I can't work with MIDI when I make music because this computer is so shitty. So I can have like one or two MIDI tracks tops, and then the computer starts lagging and clipping a lot. So generally try to do like one drum track in MIDI,
yeah,
and then that's it. And so I have to record everything, and I suck at all instruments. So I really like it when the instruments are easy to play.
yeah,
But when it comes to toys, I don't know. Actually, I don't really. I generally don't like stuff.
yeah. Just not at all.
No,
I hate things. That's why
just
you
bleh.
circuit bend them. You fucking want to see them burn,
Burn
destroy.
stuff, burn. But also,
Blew up the piano too.
I don't collect stuff just to have stuff. If I have
Mm.
something, I have it because I think I'm gonna use it, and then I never do.
How long did you want to blow up a piano? Like, how long were you sitting on that? Like,
I haven't
urge?
blown up a piano,
Well, like
like really
you,
exploded.
you exploded something on the piano.
Yeah, in
Like,
that
how?
music
Yeah,
video.
yeah. Like,
Uh, I don't know. I burnt like two or three pianos, and we dropped concrete on one piano, so it did like
mm,
a kickflip because it was like one of those concert pianos, big
uh,
one,
yeah,
flat one. So it just really cool,
yeah,
actually. It's always fun to destroy something big. There's a
yeah,
reason to why people smash cars in music videos and stuff
yeah.
like that. It's got some sort of power in it.
Mm,
But then I came across a bunch of black powder, which is highly illegal to have. Of that, like it's different levels of black powder, and this is
right.
the strong kind.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
plan was always to blow up a DS1, like to fill up the whole battery compartment to the brink with black powder and sand, maybe to just make it really tight and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
put it together so it's really tight, and then like a fuse, light that and just see it disintegrate.
Holy shit.
But it never really went down. People started calling me that I looked like that guy because I had a mustache for a short while, like the guy from
uh,
Atlantis as well. So then I was like extra amped to do the guitar pedal
yeah,
video,
yeah, yeah.
but it still never happened. So then when we started shooting that music video, I shoot music videos in a very specific way, which is take 1 week or something and just do every fucking idea that I can come up with and
Yeah.
film it, and then take whatever fits. So when I did the other cat music video, that works with just one idea. Like, what happens if I put the camera in the pool like we've done before, and I just chroma key the color blue,
Yeah.
which is the water, and that becomes like a backdrop.
Uh-huh.
So that was really easy. But for the other one, we just did everything, and the thing that was gonna tie everything together is I can have this cat one piece that. So then we did that. The blowing up thing is right after doing the video with tuning the piano keys
Yeah, right.
with that guy. So he was there. We just spontaneously did it,
Mm.
no
Oh.
thinking.
Mm. Yeah. Uh. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Do you run into, well, specifically, do you run into old people who have seen your videos? How many times are you recognized in real life? This is by Deep Bear.
No old people.
Yeah.
I have a very low percentage of that demographic if I
Mm.
check analytics, which was a long time since I did. So maybe I have a lot of old people now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of don't really feel like I'm the kind of guy that old people want to know exists. If that makes sense, like
Covered in tattoos and.
like worst. Oh, youth is what
Mm.
they. Oh, millennials.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the worst. So not generally that much, and like people overall that know who I am is not often. Once every couple of months here in Sweden, maybe when I go into town, it's always tiny bit weird
Mm.
because some of them don't know I'm Swedish, and some of them think I look weird when it's not on fisheye. Maybe I don't know.
All right. So they're like,
But it's
are
always
you
nice.
are
Like
you
it's obviously a,
like, but like in a weird way? Like, are you the Simon the Magpie instead of like, oh, Simon the Magpie? But it's like, hmm.
I thought you were gonna be shorter.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now it's fun. I don't go out that much,
Mm.
so it's definitely a boost of my ego when I meet someone who knows who I am, for
Mm.
sure.
All right, Smiley. I'm gonna indulge you once.
Hey, Smiley.
Do you like cutting down trees as a lumberjack hobby wise or making guitars? What?
I don't know. If you cut down a tree, you should most likely plant a new one or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've never cut down a tree. I did it once though, but that was a tiny tree and it was to steal a boat. So that doesn't really count.
Wait, what? You stole a boat? Hold on.
Uh, yeah, this is way back. Tiny boat. We put it back
Uh, oh, okay.
after we had. Yeah, it was the same boat. I promise. I'm sorry to those guys. I was a teenager as well, and it was really. It was just they had just put a chain around a tiny tree, so it was kind of. Well, this is easy.
Mm.
Let's do it. Then we did it. Middle of the night or something as well.
Yeah.
So we just went around in a
Is
boat
it
and
just
put
like
it
a
back.
rowboat?
Yeah,
Did you like
no
feel
more.
bad about it immediately?
No, I was most likely not on drugs.
Yeah. There's a small percentage that possibility that you were on
Not on drugs. No, but I
all of
mean,
the
fucking
drugs.
18-year-olds do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Might as well. Better to steal a boat than steal a car.
Yeah. So how do you
Like a rowboat
and
as well.
how do you like, cuz you were talking about just interacting with children and having to be in a position of teaching them things. How do you find the balance between like, yeah, you need to make those mistakes because that's what everyone does, and like,
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
have my own kids. Like that would
yeah, yeah,
probably be the conundrum. I see a lot of parents that are sort of mirroring themselves in their kids. Like the
yeah,
kids'
yeah.
mistakes are automatically the parents' mistakes, which
Right,
I
and they
think
get
is
super
bullshit.
self-conscious. Yeah,
Fuck that. Let your kids be people.
yeah.
But I think mistakes are. I don't respect collective mistakes. Like people that do stupid shit that has already been proven to be stupid,
Mm.
that just feels embarrassing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Just and obviously that you can't really say that about drugs. I don't know. That's a hard one to crack because I feel like, ha, pun intended.
Crap.
Because I feel like, first of all, it's an epidemic,
Mm,
and second of all, it's going lower and lower in ages, so they
mm.
don't really know anything at all. But I feel like drugs should definitely be for senior citizens. That's my standpoint on drugs. I guess it should be
Go out with a
legal.
bang.
Yeah, it should be no laws for senior citizens. But it's like a social thing, I guess. But I don't really know why anyone would try heroin.
Right.
Like, how do you get there unless you're like really in a bad place? I don't feel like there should be a space, but there is most likely for like happy heroinists that
I
are like
don't
excited going
think
into it.
I I know a couple people who have had experience with either being addicted to heroin or just knowing people who are addicted to heroin. I don't think it's ever. I mean, I'm
No,
sure there's
I
like,
hope not,
yeah. Mm, I don't know.
because that would just be weird.
Yeah,
That information should be out there,
yeah.
you know.
I
But
think
then we
that.
have other
Yeah,
epidemics like fatism and tobacco and alcohol and
yeah.
shit like that. That is like socially accepted.
And caffeine.
Yeah. Does that
Caffeine.
one count? Yeah, maybe it does.
I
But I
think
think
so.
that
I
all of
think
those
so.
issues we need to look from like an environmental standpoint rather than anything else. This
Mm,
whole egocentric approach doesn't work, doesn't fly with people. Like
yeah.
every person is keen on making their own mistakes for the sake of making their own mistakes. That's something I come across a lot. Like people want to own their own mistakes, so they do stupid shit because that's what they feel make up who they are. Um, but if we could angle it to be like, well, this is really bad for your next of kin, don't do it. It's pointless for you to do because you're hurting other people. Maybe that would resonate with more people. Maybe. Maybe not all people. Some people would do it more for that reason alone, but not all of them. But I mean, we live in a world where we have Nazis now. That feels like it's a proven thing we shouldn't try again.
Yeah, that's just. I mean,
It's kind of embarrassing.
it is. It is really embarrassing, and it's really
How did
embarrassing to
you?
be a white person when that's fucking happening. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
super embarrassing. It's like holy shit.
yeah.
Do you
I just feel like
understand why the
this is
Hitler did it? Do you understand why he did it? He didn't do it because he actually believed Jews were fucking awful. I'll tell you that much. You fucking ugh.
people just want to believe in
Yeah.
something,
Yeah,
and
exactly. It's like flat
sometimes
earthers.
it's easy to
Yeah.
believe in extreme stuff because
Yeah.
you get attention simply from believing in extreme stuff.
Yeah.
Sweden is a good example. We have a group of people that are called something, that are Nazis, that are demonstrating and stuff like that. And every time they do that, it gets national coverage, like media coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and thousands of people go to these demonstrations to demonstrate against this. And since we have very weird liberal laws when it comes to demonstrating and stuff, they get to do it. Like the Nazis get to do it and are protected by the government when they do it. So the cops are like punishing people that are demonstrating against it
Mm-hmm.
because the Nazis' demonstration is they have filed all the paperwork. The other
Right.
ones haven't. But then
Mm.
when you look at the statistics, that group of people are consisting of 400 individuals was the number I heard the last time I heard it. That's 400 people on a, like, in a country with 10 million people. We're not a lot of people in Sweden, but it's a kind of a big country, and we're 10 million people. 400 people get national coverage every time they do something. That marketing for those guys is unfucking believable. That's just insane.
Yeah.
fucking Steven from Falköping calls a couple of homies like, can we take a walk in my city, please? Two of them arrive and they take a walk and they get national coverage, you know? If we were just to like, fuck those 400 individuals, ignore them, pointless human beings, scum of the earth,
Yeah.
they would not exist, most likely. It wouldn't resonate with more people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
don't
is
know. I don't know if that's an answer to anything. You know, maybe that would not be a solution to the problem. Maybe it's better to show that we are resisting those guys, that they
yeah.
shouldn't have a place. But I
Yeah.
just don't know. You
Yeah,
know?
the thing is, like, that's kind of what America tried to do during World War II. Not to get too much into this, but they tried to ignore it. They were like, yeah, they're just
But
being
it's kind of a
police, you
bigger
know.
deal. You
Yeah.
know, it's not
No,
400 people.
yeah, no, exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's like when you when you do that on a big scale and it doesn't even work, it's like, holy
Yeah.
fuck,
I
you
guess the
know.
conundrum is that as long as people get to work in the shadows, they can grow unnoticed as well. So we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is true because that shit happens all the time, you know. Like
Yeah.
the communist regime of Russia. Like that's how that started. They were on the underground. They were like moss in the cave, and then they eventually killed the actual, you know, people that were leftist, but they weren't as extreme as them.
Yeah.
So then they
But
got,
couldn't
you know,
it's a bummer that
yeah,
they didn't paint like that. History always tries to paint the picture as accurate as possible.
mm,
If they would have just painted after World War II something really fucking dumb about Hitler in the history books, then maybe it wouldn't have been as attractive. Like obviously the whole fucking shenanigans is awful and dumb,
yeah.
but mainly awful. But for some reason, people still idolize it and believe in it. If
Well,
they could
yeah,
have just done something like, well, you know, he always wore his underwear outside his pants, like Phantomen, like a
mm.
superhero. So all the today's Nazis were walking around with panties on their head and underwear outside their pants. Something like that maybe would have
Yeah.
prevented something.
I I don't
Maybe.
know because the thing is the how that grows. I mean, how it even grew in the first place was like, you know, all of these small little publications, these booklets, like
Yeah.
the international problem of Jew is like this thing that a lot of Nazi generals actually had before Nazism became a thing, and it was written by Henry Ford. It was this very small publication, like I think 1,000 copies or something like that, and Henry Ford wrote about why Jews were the problem to American economic crisis, and they took it balls to the wall. Yeah, they
Yeah.
fucking exploded it. Hitler like started jerking off to it. And it's like that's the thing is like they have, you know, all of these
Fuck.
small little books that are like
Yeah.
pseudoscience, you know, and they just always like cite it and read it and like, oh, black people have skulls like this and it looks like a Neanderthal. It's, you know,
So fucking
yeah.
dumb,
Yeah.
simply put.
Yeah.
So
All
weird.
right.
It's like they were really bored. They
Yeah.
didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Sorry for going into this
No, yeah,
subject.
no, yeah. I mean, we should move on. Da, da, da. As an American, I want to apologize. That's how I feel. Um, uh,
The best way to a man's heart is through an apology, the Swedish rapper once said.
yeah. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Thanks, Smiley.
Me?
Go ahead.
Or Smiley?
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, Dip. I missed this question because this thing scrolls down automatically. Do you ever find yourself going down other art alleys, painting, drawing instead of music, just because it's a change of creative energy? I think you touched on that in your video.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do everything. Why do you
Mm.
think I play Minecraft all the time now? I think it's really good to not put yourself in this one thing you do and want to do, even if
Mm.
it's your primary focus and you love doing it. I think it's really good stimulation to try other shit, because if you get stuck and only have one thing, you're fucked. You're
Yeah.
screwed.
Mm.
What are you gonna do? That's like a high suicide rate problem. You will get depressed.
Mm.
Imagine doing one thing only, and then getting writer's block.
Right.
Oof,
That would.
damn.
Yeah.
Dakato, old man Dakato, schoolgirl, old man schoolgirl.
Yeah.
He said something really good, that is like the best spot for creativity, like your mindset, is you don't want to be so depressed that you can't do anything. You don't want to be at that low point where you're stuck on the
Mm.
couch and you can't do anything because everything feels pointless.
Mm.
But at the same time, you don't want to be in the best place where everything is also pointless because it's so good right now. So why would you want to do anything? It's just so good. So you want to be like the perfect amount of depressed to do great art.
Yeah. The problem with that is then you start making a like I had this friend, who she was like, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend. And I was like, why? I was like, and or I was like, what was like they were so happy, and she was like, I don't feel like I'm creating enough. Like whenever I'm alone, I feel like I'm creating more. Like I'm writing songs on my guitar and I'm making more
You
dance.
maybe
So
shouldn't do drastic decisions
yeah,
based on you wanting more alone time. Like there's probably some lack of communication there.
right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Because I see that from time to time. People think that the solution to doing more is giving up things that maybe isn't really a great life decision to give up,
Mhm.
you know? Like there's a lot of artists that put their families aside,
Mhm.
which essentially is what this is, but it's a younger version of that, which
Mhm.
makes it less important, I guess. They didn't have kids or anything like that, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, they're
but
back
just
together
to
now,
be,
but
yeah,
which
but like to be an artist, like don't prioritize the what you like. The issue, it's all about time, I
yeah.
guess. That's what you fill up. That's your life currency is time.
Mhm.
So uh, that's most likely not the problem, the person in your life. It's more likely that it's how you divide time between things. Like solitude and loneliness are also two completely different things. Don't forget that.
Mhm. Smiley actually has an interesting. What is your favorite material for clothing?
Dry.
So anything dry, like you don't like personally for instance like those athletic shirts that are really stretchy and like they're kind of like I don't know if it's like a
Rubbery.
yeah, those destroy my nipples every time I put them on, like my fucking nipple because it torn up, so I hate them. Like,
It's
do
like
you
a
have anything
nipple
like
problem
yeah, yeah,
rather than a clothes
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
I don't know. I have a very basic approach to clothes.
yeah,
I don't buy them. So that's
mm,
step one. Don't buy
mm,
clothes. It's unnecessary to do
hmm,
in my life. They show up for free at all times. And I also get gift cards at my birthday from my parents because they don't know what to buy me. So then I can get clothes from those gift cards.
yeah,
Um, but my only clothes arsenal is a t-shirt. Always have a t-shirt, preferably a bit too large, not
mm,
too large, but
yeah, yeah,
just not tight. and
Right.
then underwear, boxer shorts.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice. Always
Yeah.
socks. I'm never barefoot. It sucks. I don't know who the fuck walks around barefoot in shoes.
Oh my
Nevertheless,
god,
holy
I
shit,
cannot
fucking
understand that.
Satanists.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. And then like
Worship Satan.
pants and a hoodie.
Yeah.
Just a basic hoodie. That's why I throw chlorine at most of my clothes just to make it a bit more personal.
Mm.
I don't like prints on my shirts. Every shirt I have with a print on it, I generally wear inside out
Mm.
because I don't like prints at all. Not to be shown either.
Mm.
I don't want to show that I represent anything.
Really?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm me.
Oh, that's cool. Like, that's interesting.
So I guess cotton is
Mm.
mainly what my clothes are made of. Old lady clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
like the floral pattern stuff.
yeah,
Like the
boxes just show up with clothes sometimes, and I just pick stuff that fits.
like from fans.
No, no, no.
Oh.
From that's gonna be thrown away, like from dead
Oh,
old
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ladies that
Mm.
died.
Oh, so really dead old lady clothes.
Yeah, like haunted clothes.
Yeah. So you don't have any discretion wearing someone's dead clothing?
Yeah,
Dead.
I would probably think I would probably laugh if I were somebody's skin. but, but maybe think twice. HIV?
Yeah. I mean, it would smell disgusting. It
Ah,
would smell
X.
awful.
Body spray.
Yeah.
Well, it is a body part. I don't know. I'm making this up. I've never worn people.
But you'd be willing to.
I don't know. It depends on the person
Yeah. Would you
and
ever
why it showed up
would you
at
ever
my
eat would you
doorstep.
ever eat human flesh? Just to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I don't
obviously, it
know.
needs to be consensual.
Yeah, right, of course.
That's. I think that goes without saying
Yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's a big problem with the meat industry. It's not
Yeah.
very consensual. So, it would most likely be better to eat a
Yeah.
person than eat an animal from that point of view,
Yeah.
because the person could at least express, "Eat me,
Yeah.
please."
Yeah. You wouldn't
But I
be
mean, what's the
afraid you
difference
wouldn't be
with
afraid of
like blowing people or going down on people or stuff like that? That's essentially light nibbling on piece of
Yeah,
flesh.
in a way, yeah, consuming their bodily fluids especially.
Sauce.
So
This is like generally not a thing I take a stand on that often in my life. Like it's not
cannibalism.
that often. Yeah, the
Yeah.
opportunity doesn't
Yeah.
present itself.
Yeah. So it's, take it with a grain of salt. Simon the
Yeah.
Magpie is not a cannibal.
No,
Pepsi, don't pull
but is
the
it?
ads,
I think it's
Pepsi.
illegal, right? You can't eat people for some reason.
I think in like certain countries and maybe states or
Yeah, it's the same
provinces,
way you
it
can't
would
fuck
be
dead people, which is kind of
right.
a weird rule of thumb to make up.
Well, because it happens, unfortunately.
I
So
don't. Yeah,
people
but I
have
mean,
to.
they had to take a stand against it.
Yeah, they
No,
have
just
to. That's
don't,
raping a
please,
dead
just
body.
don't. Yeah, but if it's consensual,
But when has it ever been?
if the person like signed the paper
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before dying,
Right. But how often does that happen? Out of the cases of necrophilia, I'm sure
yeah,
there's like,
it's very.
yeah,
We don't
a
have that
drop in the pool.
statistic because it never got to a surface level. It's probably happening in a lot, like people,
Oh, yeah, right.
but we would never know.
Mm.
Like, I get the whole incest issue because it's a power dynamic between family
Right,
members.
right.
You
Mm.
can't really. claim the consensual because you don't know the power dynamic, but it's, I don't know. We've had it in Sweden. It's been a thing because we got one political party that their youth group within the party sort of are saying that necrophilia and incest, it's weird that it's illegal. It's gross, but grossness is not really a reason to make it illegal. So we sort of
Right.
have to look at other aspects of why it should be illegal. And then power
Yeah.
dynamic is one thing. But what would it be for necrophilia? Other family members being offended, maybe, I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're talking completely of like with people that are atheists.
Yeah.
Also, like for religious people, completely different ball game,
Well, that's kind
you
of
know.
like, yeah.
But for people not believing that anything will happen after death, it's sort of not like organ donations. I should be
I
able
feel
to
like it would
donate my entire body to someone if I want to.
I feel like it would make more sense to have sex with someone if you're religious when they're dead, because the sense of like, oh, their soul might still be there, or like their
It's
body
the
is connected to the
object
soul.
thing is what I'm preaching here. Like
Yeah.
if it's just another piece of meat, that really doesn't matter what I do with it from that point of view,
Yeah. I don't
if it's
know.
consensual.
Yeah. I think if it's consensual, then why the fuck not? Like, but like at the same time,
It's just gross.
yeah. Like it's not something that I'd take a stand for, but I wouldn't like go like, oh, if you're
No, probably
consensually
not.
having
I mean,
sex with someone who's dead, like, and there was both parties proven consensual, then I'd be like, oh,
in
who
Sweden, we
cares?
have a weird thing, which is that fucking animals became illegal in, I think, 2016, maybe 2017.
Oh,
That's when they put down the fist and say, now you can't fuck animals anymore.
huh.
Because the law to begin with was put in the same box as being a homosexual. So when they made it legal to be a homosexual, they made it legal to fuck animals again. That's really weird. This is so weird. And then they took 40 years before they were like, okay, no more animals.
Mm,
So weird.
yeah, that is. Ugh.
Yeah. So bringing the conversation to bad places over and over again here. You're the host.
Yeah.
You should.
DDC asked, "What did I miss?"
Well,
All right.
panicking, losing subscribers by the second here.
Okay, if we have no more questions, I gotta pee and get ready for work. Not particularly in that order.
Sounds like a
But
pretty good order, though.
yeah, I don't
You
know.
don't want to get
Maybe
ready to work and pee all over yourself.
maybe I
Shit!
work
Now
at
I gotta do this again.
maybe I work at a diaper factory. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's like a model. I'm a model for a diaper factory.
You're a schmodel.
I'm a schmodel.
Okay, so we need to round this up.
Yeah.
Last questions, if there are any, and don't make it go dark places again.
Yeah.
I blame the chat. That's the one way
I
to
think we
protect
did
yourself.
blame the
Yeah,
thing.
we 100. Like more. Maybe smiley strings a tiny bit.
Yeah. He can be blamed for everything.
Scapegoat. Smiley strings. I can apologize with money.
All right. Come on. People, give the questions.
Give the questions.
Yeah.
It's not even a real. That was my Arnold.
Do you have any questions that you've always wanted to be asked, but you've never been asked?
Who has?
I don't know. I heard that.
I
in an
really,
interview one
really
time.
wish to be asked this question.
No, I mean,
That's
like,
a
is there
bad
anything?
interviewer. That's a really bad interviewer.
He's actually a really good interviewer, but
Is it
it
like
made
hot sauce,
I don't know. No, it's no one
spicy wings?
popular. It's a local um radio guy.
Yeah, but it's a really bad question because it puts me on the spot. You
Yeah,
never
that's
want
true.
that to
Yeah.
happen
Mm,
with the one. Seinfeld has a really good quote about that
yeah.
from an interview.
Okay, fair enough. I have now become a bad interviewer by proxy, but I tried to brush it off by blaming it on another interviewer,
Yeah,
and which
that's
makes
also
me even
good
worse.
interviewing.
And yeah, right.
No, it's
Uh,
not.
yeah,
It's the opposite of good.
yeah.
No, never blame someone else.
Except for myself.
Yeah, just own your own mistakes, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Like it
I'm
was your
sorry. I'm
choice
sorry,
to adopt
Simon.
that
Yeah,
question. But it
I'm sorry.
might be a good, like for the correct
Oh,
subject, it's a
mm,
good question. But
yeah.
generally speaking, it's most likely not something that's going to get a great answer.
Mm, mm, you're right. I do have a question from the same interviewer that I'm stealing.
But I hope it's a
Uh,
good one.
yeah, no, I think so. It if you could choose one album to give to a kid, like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, to you talking about inspiring and stuff like that. Like, what would it be? What would that one album be?
Dude, there's a big question. We got like
Yeah.
any kid? No
Yeah,
specific kid?
maybe
Like
a
what the
kid.
kids you know
Yeah.
what kids listen to these days?
Yeah. I do. I do.
It's not
Yeah. Yeah.
generally something I would condone listening to
Yeah.
as a grown up, I
Yeah.
guess. But no, I don't know. Something that teaches something valuable.
Yeah. Maybe drop them your own album. Like, hey, self promo to a
Yeah.
kid. No, no.
But
Yeah.
it needs to be relatable enough
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah.
educational enough in some sense. But what would inspire a kid, you know?
That's yeah.
Because they are all already all over the place.
Yeah.
Hard to
So
find a kid that is not inspired.
yeah. Take from your own
Kind of.
experiences, maybe. Like, what inspired you as a kid? What would you?
I listened to kids music. Like kids music when I was a kid was just as bad.
12, 13.
Yeah, maybe like that was when we started noticing things such as rap and things
Right.
like that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Sweden, suburb. I don't know. I don't think this question is very good.
You went from
It's a
that's a
hard
heavy
one.
question. Yeah. 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 It is hard.
I am not great at listening to music
Okay.
either,
Fair enough. Yeah.
actually. But it would maybe be fun if it's like something that the kid is already like if a kid is playing a lot of some with something and it's kind of like okay, this kid is really into pogo sticks. Then I would show the kid a musical album that is made with pogo sticks or something like
Mm,
that. So it would like show a different world
yeah.
based on something that the kid is already into.
Right.
That would most likely inspire the kid because then you have uh, input. You
Yeah.
have a way into the kid's heart.
Like the System of a Down song from Pogo.
I don't know.
Bounce pogo 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 pogo. It's not a song for kids. It's about having sex. And
Is it
uh,
all kids music? Because they want to hint to. Like, it's the same with kids movies. So much grown up humor in kids movies for some reason.
so the adults are entertained while their kids are watching.
Yeah, but the parents, in my opinion, should be happy just for having an entertained child.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
need dick
that's a
jokes
very
in
good
Disney
point.
movies.
Yeah. You're I think you're spot on with that. I think parents need to suck the fuck up sometimes.
Yeah, you
But
know,
at the
it's
same time,
becoming more.
I've never been a child
You've
owner.
never been
Like I've never had a child, so I don't know how
But you
it
know, it's
feels
becoming
to
like more and more of an epidemic with depressed toddlers because the parents are watching their kids from the other side of a screen. Like it's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
face to face. They're constantly taking pictures and watching their kids through the screen, so the kids feel no connection because they don't understand what the fuck is going on with that tiny thing. It's big now though. They have grown, the cell phones. But you get what I mean.
Mm. Oh, I guess Biggs and Aiken knows something that I don't, which is normal. What are your plans for the Norway trip?
Not sure actually, because I haven't even picked up train tickets yet because I am slow in my mind. So
Mm.
relax, Begs. You can always come here, Begs, if I suck at being a person.
All right. I think that's great. Great thing to end on. Fucking with Biggs.
First and only input got
Yeah.
shut down. I'm sorry, Begs. I like your beard
Great beard.
and other aspects of your being. Begs, bye. Let's just hang up.
Yeah. Bye. Great awkward place to end.
No,
All right.
thank you for sticking around, chat.
Yeah. Wonderful. Screw you, Smiley, for making us talk about necrophilia. It's bad. You're a bad man.
No, I love Smiley. He's the
No,
perfect
I
amount of
yeah.
troll.
Yeah. It's great. Great stuff. Love ya. Pirates. Bye bye.